pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carol Wilson, and I'm honored to be the regent of Apache Trail Chapter. And on behalf of the Apache Trail Chapter, National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution, I am honored to welcome you to this historical event. Thank you to the Arizona State Society for their guidance and support. The Executive Board is the umbrella over the 41 chapters in the state of Arizona. They are not only our mentors, advisors, and fellow daughters, but also our friends. Much like our founding daughters, with a goal to honor the Revolutionary War fathers, Apache Trail Historic Preservation Committee had a dream to recognize the historical significance of the Apache Trail. After considerable research, planning, applications, and endorsements, their objective has been realized, and today we celebrate the fruits of their efforts. Apache Trail Chapter and SDAR is pleased to sponsor this historical marker and are very grateful to our Historic Preservation Committee for their dedication to this project and to the dignitaries of the City of Apache Junction, along with the Apache Junction Parks and Recreation, whom without their blessings and cooperation, this project would never have been realized. I find it thrilling to be a part of a vibrant service organization, and I could not be more proud of work that our members accomplish on behalf of our enduring mission of historic preservation, education, and patriotism. We are a sisterhood of patriotic women that makes a dramatic and positive impact on America. Our motto of God, home, and country inspires us daily, and we hope this inspiration will flourish and encourage future generations. Thank you and welcome. The only thing I want to add is over at that table we have information on the DAR and Apache Trail, all our achievements and projects. Please take one of the magazines home and have a good read. And there's also, if you think you might have a Patriot, there's a sign-up sheet there if you want to give us your information, and we'll contact you and see what we can do. Thanks.
My name is Karen Barks. I am a member of the Apache Trail Chapter. We want us to welcome our guests. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. We'll introduce some DAR dignitaries. First will be Stephanie Hill Troth, Vice President General, 2017 to 2020. B. Dalton, past Treasurer General. Terry Mott, past State Regent. And would the ASDAR officers please stand? Mary Lou Fellman, of course, is the ASDAR State Regent. She'll be giving readings. The next group would be Jeff Surdy, the Apache Junction Mayor. Robin Barker, a council member. Krista Rizzi, a council member. And Robert Schroeder, a council member. Also, Bryant Powell, the city manager, is here. And Wayne Stanage is one of the people who helped us decide what our thing should say. Mary Lou, would you please bring greetings?
Thank you, Karen, Madam Regent. It's great to be here this afternoon, and I really appreciate the opportunity to bring you greetings. As I've gone about the state, I have always talked about the fact that what we do here in Arizona and our history is just as important as the history in all other parts of the United States. I'm very proud of Apache Trail chapter for them doing all the work that it takes to put in place this marker here. As I thought about the Apache Trail today as we drove out here, I thought about if that trail could only talk and tell the stories of the pioneers, the miners, the construction people for the dams, and now the recreationists that use that road to get to wherever they want to go. It's quite a story, I am sure. And I'm sure there are some real Lulus of stories. So with that being said, again, congratulations, Apache Trail. Job well done. And I'm looking forward to the unveiling.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Mayor Surtee, would you please bring greetings?
Welcome to the most beautiful place in the valley. And I want you to ponder for a minute that without this Apache Trail, none of us would be here today. And without your ancestors in the Revolution, none of us would be here either. Or we'd be speaking with a different accent, so we appreciate that. You know, this park, we're only going into our second or third year on this, and you don't build a park like this overnight. And all of the things like this get added to it. Like over at the focal point, there's the oldest structure in Apache Junction. It's the Don's Monument. It was built in 1938. So with this beautiful monument that you're bringing today, that's going to just add to the aesthetics of this park. And it's when you visit someplace, what do? You go look at monuments like this. So I think that over the next few years, it's going to be looked at tens of thousands of times. So thank you for making the effort to do this and bringing it to our city. So thank you.
Robin Barker is a council member, and she's going to tell us some history of the Apache Trail.
Good afternoon. Beautiful day. Okay, I've been given an assignment. My assignment was to put the entire history of Apache Trail into a nutshell. All right, my efforts are as follows, and hopefully I can turn the page without losing it to the wind. Okay? According to our local historian, the late Tom Collenborn, Apache Trail is the oldest American roadway. It served for centuries as a foot trail to and from hunting grounds and for the Anasazi and the Salado Indians as they traveled from Tonto Basin to trade with the Hohokam. It was known as the Tonto Trail and the Yavapai Trail. But the real story of Apache Trail as we know it began with the need of a reliable water supply for the Phoenix region. Farming was a big part of early life in the valley, and in the late 1800s, the area was in the midst of an extensive drought. So a group of farmers from Phoenix, Tempe, and Mesa formed the Salt River Valley Water Users Association to build a new dam in order to have a reliable water source during drought and protection during floods. They lobbied Congress and the president to construct a dam and a canal system, pledging their own land as collateral for the loan. And in 1902, Theodore Roosevelt signed the National Reclamation Act, which provided government loans to reclaim the arid West with irrigation projects. And the first project was Tonto Dam, later to be called Theodore Roosevelt Dam. Now, in order to construct this massive dam, a supply road was necessary to transport materials, equipment, and resources from a railhead to the site. There were two possible routes for a wagon road from established railheads, one from Globe and one from the Phoenix Mesa area. The Globe option had an existing trail, though it was pretty twisty and up and down hills. It was connected to a railhead and was 40 miles southeast of the dam site. The Phoenix Mesa option would require a new 60-mile road, but had 2 railheads. Naturally, the Globe Trail was the first choice, and what was to be called the Highline Road to Globe was completed in 6 months in late May of 1904. At the same time, however, Reclamation was still looking at Mesa because they found they could save $15 a ton by transferring freight through Mesa instead of Globe. Another advantage was the first 22 of the 60 miles was relatively level. So from 1903 to 1905, the mostly Native American workforce, about 50% Apache, completed a road that would first be called Tonto Wagon Road, then the Phoenix Roosevelt Road, and then the Mesa Roosevelt Road, a little bit of infighting there, and then the Ocean to Ocean Highway until late 1915. Ocean to ocean, you see them? There they are, folks. The cost of the road was $350.6 thousand, with Fish Creek Hill costing upwards to $25,000 a mile. Wow. Yeah, big time stuff. By 1904, there were stagecoach stations along the trail. It took stagecoaches 12 hours to make the trip. Fish Creek Canyon featured a restaurant and a lodge. Unfortunately, that burned down in 1929. Mormon Flat offered a saloon for tourists and workers alike. And Weeks Station took advantage of the travelers, charging 5 cents per head, including horses, for water. By 1913, Apache Trail became a popular tourist destination, for Sunday drives to extended stays at Fish Creek Lodge. It was featured in America's Auto Tour books, and in about 1916, the Southern Pacific Railroad coined the names Apache Trail and Apache Land to promote side tours on their New Orleans to San Francisco route. Passengers would disembark at Globe, and then they traveled in parlor cars, which were kind of the early stretch limos, to Mesa on what they called the Sunset Route. The name Apache Trail stuck, but its popularity as a tourist destination declined with the onset of the 1930s Depression. In 1922, the state of Arizona took ownership from the Salt River Valley Water Users Association and declared Apache Trail a state highway, State Route 88. However, by 1927, improvements to the trail diminished due to the cost, and it wasn't until 1949 that the state began to widen and pave the road, ending at mile marker 220 in 1961. The rest of the road remains unpaved to this day due to opposition of historic preservationists and a public outcry. The modern trail requires significant maintenance to address a variety of issues, such as rock slides and flooding. In June of 1986, Apache Trail was designated as the state's first historic road. The effort was led by the City of Apache Junction and the Apache Junction Chamber of Commerce. The road is also designated as a scenic byway by the National Forest Service. And Apache Trail celebrated its centennial in October of 2005 right here at Superstition Mountain Museum. Unfortunately, in the summer of 2019, Apache Trail suffered major flood damage. Though a lot of the damage has been repaired from Apache Junction to Fish Creek Canyon and from the other side of that canyon to Globe, it is not possible to travel the entire trail. Apache Junction has met with ADOT to try to find solutions for the damage, but due to the historic label, modern methods cannot be used, thus making the cost almost prohibitive. Fortunately, there is currently some legislation, House Bill 2791, that proposes an appropriation of $30 million over a 2-year period of time for repairs necessary to reopen it. The city hopes that one way or another, in time, this historic road can be fully restored to be enjoyed by generations to come. And that is a
Robin, thank you so very much for that. That was very interesting. We now have another lady here who I would like to introduce. Her name is Suzanne Cash. She is a past Arizona State Regent. Welcome, Suzanne. That's okay. It's a long ways from anywhere to here. Oh, not from Gilbert. Will the members of the Historic Preservation Committee please stand? Please hold your applause until all are introduced. Alice Cobb is our treasurer, and she's over here. I mean, our chairman, I'm sorry, what am I thinking? Nancy Anderson, Becky Reed, just wave your hand, Sue Burley, Jerry Walkman, Bonnie Williams, Bonnie Payne, and myself. Our project began in October of 2018. We truly needed Alice's leadership and persistence with this project, and thanks to all of you and all of us for the efforts. Also, thanks to Liz Langenbach, where are you, Liz? There you are, right there, director, and Nick Blake, and their staff for their help, because they've been very, very helpful in the project. Now, Alice is going to unveil the marker. It's way back over there, not very far. So please walk over there. But before you do, let me go ahead and finish with what we have to say here.
You do better sit.
Please do. Thank you. Gotta find the right page. There are refreshments. We want you to stay for refreshments. And we'll ask you also to stay for a few minutes for some grouping pictures. And so probably the picture groupings that I can think of right off the bat would be the mayor, Robin, Mary Lou, Carol, and the supervisors. Whoever do we have a supervisor here? We do. The mayor and the council, the ASDAR state board, and the other members of the ASDR and the national staff. Chapter officers would be the chapter Apache Trail officers, and then all DAR members. So I think we'll do it over there by that sign. Probably it's more level ground there. But please, Alice will unveil the marker, so everybody please follow her.